Hello everyone and welcome to Ashley Plans and Saves. I'm Ashley and today I'm going to share with you my mid-month check-in for September. Things are already kind of funky and slightly up in the air, but hopefully by the end of next week, by like the 21st or the 22nd, things will sort of settle down. Already in my income, that's really where things get kind of funky. Rollover from August was already received. That was 1110 as planned. Paycheck 1, less than planned. I planned 1510 for September 5th. However, I only got 1493.12. I anticipated more because I got like a 1.5% raise for the new school year, like what's it called? Like a cost of living or inflation raise. So not that much, but just something to keep up with, like the cost of living. But when I looked at the pay stub, apparently 1 week of that pay cycle was at my old pay rate, and then the second week was at my new pay rate, so that's why it's slightly less than anticipated. Then also, unplanned, after school started again at my job, and I didn't anticipate after school happening again, just because of how things were kind of strange last year with like all of a sudden they changed how we were getting paid and things like that, so I thought that insinuated things were not going so well, but apparently things are going perfectly fine. Because it started again and I am working with it again. So I did not anticipate it, but on the 13th, this past Friday, I did get $197.77 for 1 week's worth of pay, which is awesome. I'll never say no to any extra money. But since I am getting that new source of income, I do have to think about the implications for my taxes at the end of the year, simply because I know that the pay rate for that, like when you have a second job typically, and it's significantly different from, like the pay is significantly different from like a different job you have, then things get kind of hinky with how much taxes are taken out because the tax rate for each pay stub is different. So, when I get paid for my job, they're saying, okay, if you're making $1,500 a paycheck, this is the tax bracket you'll be in by the end of the year, versus, if I'm making $200 a paycheck, they think, okay, so this is the tax bracket you'll be in at the end of the year. So those tax brackets are completely different. So the amount of taxes, or like the tax rate that's applied to each pay stub, is different, meaning that I really have to make sure that with my my regular job, my school job, I take out enough taxes to cover any additional taxes that may be owed for this after school pay. So I did change my allowances from 2 allowances for federal income tax down to 1 allowance, meaning they'll take out more money. So for this next paycheck, if it goes into effect in time, instead of 1510 like I planned, I should be getting my regular pay actually of 1475. So nothing will really change there for me, which is fine. Commuter benefits refund, still haven't gotten that. Should get it this week, so fingers crossed that I get it. Really need it. Nothing has really changed in terms of my savings plans. However, since I'm getting that after school income again, I took a minute to figure out what I wanted to do with that money. Last year when I worked in after school, any money I made from working there went into this moving sinking fund to prepare for me and my roommate moving out at the end of November. And so, that should cover a deposit, moving fees, application fee, things like that, anything that may come up. But even towards the end of last school year, I knew that I had more than enough money in that sinking fund and I didn't want to put anything more into it. So even though, I didn't realize I was getting paid, so this money automatically went into that fund because that's where my direct deposit goes. But moving forward, I'm either one, going to change my direct deposit, or two, just be proactive enough to go into that moving sinking fund and transfer whatever I make from after school into my down payment sinking fund, because I know already the amount I'm putting in monthly is not sustainable for the new school, like for next year in 2020, because my benefits are costing more. And my rent will more than likely be going up once we move at the end of this year. So that's not going to be sustainable. So to keep the current rate, or like as close to the current rate as what I'm doing right now, I'll put my after school income into this down payment sinking fund, which honestly is not even a sinking fund. It's in a Betterment, like general investing account. So it's invested. It's not necessarily 100% liquid. Like I can't get that money tomorrow. It'll take like 1 or 2 days to transfer. But that is the plan right now. So we'll see how that turns out. Spending so far, pretty good. Groceries, I'm on track. I even decreased my planned amount to account for the change in income. So instead of 300, I bumped it down to 263, just because for the first 3 weeks of the month I was under budget by about 30 bucks or so. So that's what I did. These are the transactions: $55 for the first week of September, $53 for the next week, and then $42 for this past week. So far so good. Eating out, haven't touched it yet, but more than likely all that money and maybe even more will be spent when I go to Philly at the end of the month. Household, I bought a pack of gum, and then I did a $10 cash back from Target just so I have laundry money. One other thing I think I may need is some dish soap, so maybe I'll pick that up. This $6 should be more than enough to cover that. Now, maybe I'll jump down to the wedding first. My cousin's wedding was this past weekend. It was so awesome. I took out the $50 in cash for the card, their gift for the wedding. We took a Lyft from a train in New Jersey to the wedding venue, and that was $14.53. The train tickets were $14 one way, so in a very silly move, I bought both tickets. I bought one ticket to go and one ticket to return, just in case we are running low on time and we don't have time to stop at the ticket machine, whatever. But I bought that. But it turns out when as we were getting ready to go, I requested the Lyft to pick us up and go back to the train station. My family from Virginia offered to drive us all the way back to New York. So I canceled the Lyft. I didn't end up using that second train ticket I bought, and now I just have an extra train ticket to New Jersey that is non-refundable but also never expires apparently. But I came in under budget. I budgeted $100, so I'm about $250 under budget. That's fine with me. And now, apparently, that same family from Virginia that drove down for the wedding and drove us back to New York, my cousin from that side of the family is having a baby shower in Virginia this upcoming weekend. One, only realized she was pregnant at the end of September, didn't realize how far along she was, and two, did not even anticipate going to the baby shower because it's in Virginia and it's up so far from New York, and no one in my New York family has cars. I don't know. I just didn't think we'd be going. But apparently we are, because my aunt is lending her second car to my sister, so we're driving down from New Jersey. So there's that. And also, I have been returning a lot of the clothing that I bought in August. So to keep things really easy for me, I'm not dipping into that clothing sinking fund, since it's in a whole different account. It's in one of my Ally accounts, and I paid for everything with a credit card. I'm not going back and forth with that account because I really can't make that many transactions from that account. And I knew things would be moving and shaking a lot, so everything is in this miscellaneous line item here. It started off with a return, then I bought something to replace those items, then I returned something else, and then I returned something else, and then I paid for something for my dad, and then he paid me back a few dollars more than what I paid. I bought my cousin a baby shower card from Target. I paid for return shipping for the two things I bought at Famous Footwear back in August, a pair of booties and some flats, because they were too small, and I knew I wasn't going to go in store to do it. I just didn't. I was never going to do that. So I just paid for return shipping. So instead of getting $106 back, $6 back, I'll get $85 or so back. Fingers crossed, we'll see. So there's that. And then I bought a baby gift from my cousin's registry. However, me and my sister are splitting this $50 gift. And I think that when I go grocery shopping and I go to Target, and when I go to Target this week, I'll maybe check the baby clothing aisle and see if they have any cute onesies or cute sets that I can buy for an in-person gift, because we bought a baby rocker that we're shipping to her, but we want to come in person with a small little something to go with the card. So we'll do that. Then she just has to pay me back the $25 to split this. And then I did buy a replacement pair of flats from Famous Footwear in the correct size for $25. So right now, technically, I'm in the negative for this miscellaneous fund, but once the Famous Footwear return goes through for about $85, once my sister pays me back with $25 for the baby stuff, it should be in the green. And then at the end of the week, when we're traveling, I'll probably take out $20 in cash just to have toll money, and then I'll also need another $10 for a return train ticket from New Jersey back to New York. but you know, we'll see how everything lays out. So that's the plan right now. It should be more than enough to cover everything, but like I said, we will see. So that's all of spending. And then nothing crazy with housing. I paid off internet and electricity, and then I have that money set aside for rent, subscriptions, paid my gym. The rest need to come out. And then I did cancel my gym membership because I have yet to go at all in September. And they did assure me that I canceled it in time so that I will not be charged in October. So fingers crossed that that pans out. But pretty much that's it for my mid-month September check-in. Like I said, hopefully by the end of this upcoming week, I'll have like the commuter benefits refund. I'll have like all the returns I've made will be like completed, and anything else I may buy for the baby or the baby shower will be done. Any transportation for the baby shower and stuff like that will be accounted for. So I'll hopefully be in the green. But I'll check in with you guys at the end of September, after my weekend in Philly. So maybe even October 1st, since I'm getting back September 30th. It'll be one of those two, and then I'll have my October budget set up around then. So if you're interested in more of these budget videos, feel free to subscribe, and if you've enjoyed watching this video, please consider giving it a like. I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, everyone, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.